Hello there. All the time, students are asked uh, after the lecture they should work in groups for problem solving and discussing various elements of an ongoing course. The group work may be for a number of reasons. It may be jointly working on a report, jointly working on a project, jointly developing something, or fabricating something. This brief talk is more focused on reviewing the work after lectures and going towards problem solving so that students can work in smaller groups and they are not disheartened by difficulties and they can help each other. So the group work should be used in studies such a way that it should work for you, it should help you. It's not a matter of spending the time again on the material and leave the group without gaining more. So when people start working in groups, someone naturally appears to be a leader or a donor. So one person out of the whole group could be more talkative, more contributive, and appear to be more sound to others. And some groups end up doing this, that always the same person who I'm calling a leader or donor of knowledge would be sort of explaining things to you, and all other three partners in the group, they are just listening. And that is a pretty constant phenomenon. So all others, they become followers or receivers, and they never try to be a leader or a donor. But when you go to your tests and exams and quizzes and evaluations, you have to be leader. So I'm not in a practice of being leader. I'm not a practice uh, in a practice of sharing my knowledge with others. So I'm not really getting a benefit. If a group starts working this way, where there's a constant donor all the time, and all others are the followers or receivers of the knowledge points, that's not a good thing. That is actually a problem. You are working in a group to solve a problem, but that is leading you to problem. And this is not fair for receivers, same as it's not fair for the donor. Because already, as I'm mentioning here, uh, the material has been delivered by a lecturer in your course. Now, if you have someone else like this leader to repeat it again, once more, twice, thrice, your work never starts. Your work would start when you would start reviewing your stuff yourself. You need time to review the stuff. You have to kick in your own thought process. You have to ponder upon your stuff yourself and extract the results yourself. That's what makes you leader. That's what would make you a leader in your exam where you can put in right material. And by following this, what we end up having no progress. We want to excel on the topic of discussion, but sometimes we have been working in groups, but we feel, oh, we did not get much from this as we should. So then, if this is a situation, what's the way out? Then what is the correct way of approaching to group work for studies? Before you go to group work, all of the group members, you all should study. Do not go to the group work without studying. Relying on someone to be leader or donor and repeat you the things again and again and again. If you want to have an effective output from the group work, everyone going to group work should come ready. You have studied your material, you have attempted your problems, and you know, okay, what are your problems? So what I mean by ready or being ready is you should have a proper context to your problems. I not only know, okay, this is my problem, I should know I started from where. So I started from somewhere, I'm progressing, and here I have felt a hurdle. And if someone can help me to get through this hurdle, I may be okay. I may be okay onward towards my goal. But if I have not worked out the proper context of my problem, I do not know where I have the problem. Another point in getting ready is once I have studied my material, I should be ready to challenge myself and challenge my colleagues in the working group I'm going to work in. Because when everybody would come up with their problems, maybe your problem is not a problem for someone else. So that person would come up with something which is really giving you a hard time. If this is giving you really a hard time, then maybe some other colleague of you in a group would come, hey, I solved it, because all of us, we have different minds. We have different capabilities and we focus on different points while we are solving problems. So if I exactly know what my problem is, someone might have not a similar problem. So someone could be a solution to my problem and I could be a solution to someone else. And that is only possible if all of us, we are ready. We know the context of our problems. Just to say to your group mate, oh, I don't understand this topic at all, this is not a good question. It means I have never tried to understand it. If I say, okay, yes, I started working on studying this topic, I got up to this point, but I don't know exactly what this point is. That's where I'm in the same situation where I have a hurdle and I'm asking my group mate to help me to get rid of that hurdle. This way, everybody would excel, everybody would get problem solved, and you will be really working on peer-to-peer level where everybody is helping everyone else. You are not forcing someone to be a tutor always. And sometimes I've seen the poor tutors, when it comes to exams, they might have been going over the similar things again and again, and sometimes the leader or the donor would guess marks than the students who have been following that leader or have been on the receiving end. So this is not a justice for the leader of the group as well. Always you just ask him some out of context question, and most of the group work time is just wasted in dealing with that which is not of any benefit to anyone. So all will contribute and get benefit when everybody would come ready. You would love group work because you are having a collection of problems, and somebody's problem is bearing a solution with someone else. And if it boils down to solving numericals, for example, then we get frustrated once we are not able to solve it and we don't have solution, for example. Or sometimes if you have solution, we cannot figure out how I go from this step to that step. And that's where I can get great help if I go working in group like this. So the gain of the group is not at the expense of one member in this scenario. Everybody's contributing. Everybody's contributing. So success of group work lies in contribution. And you can make contribution only if you go to your group work ready. You know the full context of your problems and you have identified your problem. Better you have written. Go with challenges created for yourself and others. And that would really give you a very, very good and fruitful outcome of the group work. And that will be a real return of your time. Please do not go unprepared to the group work. And I do not understand this big topic is not a question. Yes, I was studying this topic. I could not get this. This is a proper question with the context. And that would produce a challenge for the person who's helping you in the group. I guess this brief talk would be helpful in going to group work in more fruitful and beneficial manner. Thank you.